Welcome, everyone, to Analytics Are For the Nerds, a comedy dynasty football podcast where I'm done with talking with football for now on. So let's get going. Let's talk about everything but football. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
What is your day looking like right now? Like,
just Philadelphia cream cheese.
So my wife asked me to stop singing Wonderwall all the time, and I said maybe.
what does a nosy pepper do?
What?
It gets jalapeno business.
Need her forever. She had a life, Louis. She's a person. It's not about you, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. That's something we're grateful for.
She didn't understand inflation. I got $5 for every Christmas in fucking 1984. 1994.
You hang out enough. You copy each other's facial hair and the double mustache and that is fucking gross. So welcome.
I do want to be clear, though, that I have earned one, and Lou is depressed. There's a big difference. Lou is still trying to convince 16-year-olds he's cool, and they keep telling him they don't want weed from him. They can get it from anywhere. So, there's a difference between mine and his.
Great editing. That was so good. Look at us. Beautiful. Hi, guys. Hi. We're not going to talk about
Listen, I know you don't want to, and we all said we're not going to, and I did not, I swear to God, I was but this isn't for you, this isn't for Ryan, this isn't for fucking clicks, I swear to God, but it's for me. Can we just fucking stop? Can we just stop caring so much about this fucking team full of millionaires that don't give a shit about us? Oh, is little Joshy all upset? Is he sad? Is he not going golfing this week? He's not going to make the Pro Bowl. You know what Josh Allen's doing tonight? He's fucking Haley Steinfeld. We are two different types of sad. I couldn't even look at my daughter for 2 fucking days. We care about this team so much. Oh, we donate to everything. Stop doing that. Stop breaking tables. You know what my biggest thing on algorithm is? My Instagram algorithm is mentally challenged people enjoying their lives. They dance and it's not to mock them. It's not whatever. I just love watching that. It's very, very joyful because they don't know how much life sucks. You know what we are at the whole fucking NFL is we're those fucking people dancing to the dumbest fucking song. Like, oh, they're so cute. They fucking donate and go through tables. I hate it. And you want to know how fucking stupid and deranged I am is that I don't want people who are like, oh, go get Myles Garrett or the other fucking the Raider, and you know what? I don't want them. I don't want their help. That's how deranged I am. I want to be lovable losers forever because I don't want to be the best. I'm in like a fucking abusive relationship where there's somebody and like, you know what? I can help you. I can go get these players. I can make you better, and I can get you away from this person. I'm like, no, I want to be hit again. Over and over and over again, keep fucking hitting me. I'm done. Why are we doing this to ourselves? All right, that was 3 minutes of not talking about the Bills.
Yeah. I felt like when you started that monologue, I knew who you voted for, and then you ended it. I changed my mind. I can't tell what side you're on. I'm really confused. You had me at the kids dancing, and then the other people danced. So I get it. I didn't play the game, right? So there's nothing. It's just a game. I get that, and I don't want to hear people being negative about it. I'm just done with seeing Patrick Mahomes. That's it. And I don't want to talk. I don't want to watch it. I'm also having a struggle bus day. As we heard that before the show, my computer stopped working. But who would have thought that Marsha Brady showed up and her cell phone is even cuter? Stop. But and I'm wearing sweatpants. I don't even know whose sweatpants these are. These aren't even mine. I didn't buy a pair of sweatpants. What happened to me? I look like I have the flu and I'm just getting over it. I look like I still have the body aches. That's what my body is looking like right now. So it's just I am sick of the same stuff. I'm sick of the conspiracy theories. I'm sick of the 400 videos of the same things. And then
Yeah.
people
I
who have
want
like never played football or never watched this for more than 3 years have all the opinions, and it's the same opinion that they keep repeating, but just a new person is saying it with a shittier phone. That's where I'm at. So and
I'm done. I'm
again,
done blaming the refs and all this shit. Like, I'm
yeah,
with you. Like,
it's
just
fine. It's
be better.
it's a
Be
game.
fucking better for one day. I
Yes.
don't care. I don't want to
I'm
talk about the refs one day.
we're turning this into a wrestling podcast. Let's go. Okay. I feel like all this. Wow, our site just crashed. We have so many new followers now. Yeah, I just don't. But I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry
No,
to
it's
get you
okay.
wired up. Ryan's calm over there. Do you need to say
He's always
anything?
calm. I know.
No,
Ryan,
I didn't want to, but that felt good. And honestly, for 3 days, I've been walking around like, I don't give a fuck. And then I needed that. So.
I'm happy. I'm sad that you let people verbally abuse you, and I'm excited when you clip this and you give everyone the apology that we all need. So, Ryan, how are you, little lamb? How's it going?
Look, Louis, it could always be worse.
That's enough,
You
Ryan.
could.
Anyway, no, no, go on. How are you?
I'm great. I was going to say, Louis, it could always be worse. You could have a clip of you comparing or saying that Dalton Kincaid was delicious, and it certainly doesn't seem like that's very true right now.
No,
So it was a little weird back then. We didn't think it was that wrong, but now it definitely looks wrong. So again,
but
didn't work out.
But Ryan, great segue. Speaking of delicious, I was gonna wait.
You're running on the Dalton
That is
Kincaid now?
Wait.
The Dalton Kincaid? Hang on.
Get surprised.
Wait,
Hey,
Pat.
throw me a ball.
Okay, there you go. Speaking of delicious, I was gonna
Sorry.
go into Pete Carroll, but even more delicious. How's it going, Pat? Welcome to the pod.
It's good. I appreciated that heartfelt rant, Louis.
You feel it?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I haven't rooted for a team in a long time, so it's nice, kind of like, oh, right. I mean, the passion runs deep, and it's cool to see that. I do feel like you lost the room a little bit when you said to stop breaking tables. That didn't seem to really resonate.
It's just so dumb. I hate what we're known for. Like, we're adults. We all have jobs, most of us. Like, we go to work and we're known. I mean, I know the comparison wasn't the best, but seriously, we're known as lovable losers, and I'm done with that. I'm 40. I pay my bills, some of them, and so
the important ones.
Yeah, and I just, and all this does is give another year of that voice of like the guy that sits behind me at the games and being like, I told you they shouldn't run, or I don't want to I just want to be happy. I just want to see what happiness is. That's all.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
I didn't mean to take it that far.
No, it's okay. But Pat, welcome. As listeners know, Pat is from Ship Chasing, and you have great takes, and we're very excited because it's obviously that game that I won't be watching coming up because I am a petty little bitch. And
I'm going to the movies. I already decided I'm going to the
Wicked.
movies.
You seen Wicked? What are you doing?
I have not seen it yet, and if it's still up in 2 weeks, I'll go see that. That's one of my. I'm going to the movies. I'm not.
I like that.
Call it a bit if you want. Call it whatever you think it is. It's either going to be going to the movies, or if there's not something that I want to see that night, I'm going to plan out a drive that takes 2 hours, and I'm just going to go to that point, eat somewhere, and drive all the way back, and not listen or look at my phone. That's how fucked up I am, and that's.
Where are you guys on the Eagles? Like, because that's part of it for me. It would be one thing if the Commanders had beaten the Eagles. That would be. I think America would have a team to root for sure. Yeah. But I don't find the Eagles particularly likable.
They're not.
No,
I mean, you're right.
I think it starts with Sirianni being as unlikable as he is. It's the fans. I think there's a bad reputation amongst the fans. I think about how they are towards.
Let's not be too judgmental.
So, yeah, I think it's unfortunate. And honestly, I've been the hardest part for me is I've been down on the Eagles all year. I just feel like they're frauds and they just keep getting through. And it's like maybe it's poetic because they're facing up against who I thought were the frauds of the AFC with Kansas City. So
it's the Fraud Bowl.
No one can say like, oh, the league is scripted anymore, though. I don't want to hear that shit because they would not want this matchup, right? Like the league would not like the league needed Buffalo and Washington, for the excitement and what getting new people. Like everybody was rooting for those teams. Like this is not what the league wants. And
Are you sure they don't want Taylor Swift fans drawing, more viewers in? I mean, that's definitely a big.
No, I get what you're saying, but I think one that's drawn out a little bit at this point, and then two, I think the excitement of Buffalo being in would overweigh all that Taylor Swift, the little bit that's still a thing. Listen, you want to hear one thing that I didn't mention in that rant? I didn't say shit about Taylor Swift because I still love my homegirl. She's she's got a beautiful voice. I'm still into it.
Yeah. Can we stop talking about football, guys, and get back to what I really
What do you got? What do you got? We only give you 15 minutes an episode. Go ahead.
No, I do want to just say welcome back to the handsome Pete Carroll back to the NFL. That makes me so happy. I do love that when the announcement happened, Ryan and Louis both congratulated me on having sex appeal back in the NFL. So thank you. Very excited. Pat, I love Pete Carroll. I love how much he chews that gum. I just love his pacing. I love his
Got a gum thing?
Oh, you're gonna not unsee it now. It is.
It's more about the dentures that.
No, I know he chews gum. I've never heard a woman go, I love the way he chews that gum.
It's just like it's like a little bit cleaner than a nail biter. Like it's just he probably went there and just started. I don't know.
Like jaw definition? Is that part of it?
Oh, get a snap jaw.
It's a jaw thing.
Yeah, his jowls. I think he technically has jowls.
That was the most excited I've seen you.
All of a sudden, I go on a Louis ramble like, Pete Carroll's so hot. And you're like, whoa. And then I have kids dancing on my phone like Louis does. No, it's fine. It's fine. But I'm very, very happy for Pete Carroll. And it's great. And you see that Marshawn Lynch, former Buffalo Bill, went and visited Coach Carroll in Oakland, which is nice. And he's
gonna be like the offensive coordinator, isn't he?
Yeah,
I can just see that happening. Like, he just brings in Lynch played with the Raiders too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right?
But realistically, it's just for their social media team to be like, oh, Marshawn's here with Coach Carroll. Like that's really what they're, it's not about football. It's their social media page. But that's very exciting. Any hot takes? You guys feel like it's gonna do anything? Do you feel like the Raiders are gonna show up this year?
I do want to mention it, though. This to me, the hiring is worth it alone for discovering an article this week that I never knew about. Called is like 23 reasons why a profile of Pete Carroll does not appear in this space in LA Mag from like 2007. And it was a dude who wrote a profile, like a profile that he pretended wasn't a profile the whole time on Pete Carroll when he was at USC. And it's fascinating. It's a really good piece. And it's like the writer kind of puts himself in it. He's like spends like months with Pete Carroll and like describes kind of his whole deal. Like he's kind of, got this like ADHD personality, doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't drink, doesn't go to the bathroom, just like going all the time. But like it has all these really interesting nuggets in there. So I would
close your mouth, Ellie. Holy shit, Ellie's like,
you know.
The more you're saying, she's like, yeah, that's it.
You just described the perfect AI boyfriend.
Wears a diaper because he's
old as hell.
Is grateful when you give him a candle for Christmas. I'm like, this is magical. I need to. Yes, I'm in. Oh, love him. I gotta now check this out. I like it.
It's worth reading.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Ryan,
I do know he's still coaching.
I'm sorry.
I just don't know who's playing quarterback for them. That's my biggest question. Tom Brady's not going to, unretire as a player, and be a player owner. You see it, Louis?
Is there not 2% in your mind?
No, there's not. I think that no. Especially
in a year that there's no one to draft. Who's available besides Darnold? Then again, Darnold was, I think, as much as I was the biggest Darnold guy. What?
It might be Russ.
Oh, Russ makes so much sense. And that's so dumb. But didn't he hate Russ? Didn't he kind of push Russ out of there?
Yeah, but apparently they buried the hatchet. So,
oh man, Russ, you're the first person that I guess I don't want to listen to anything about football this week. Maybe, but that makes a lot of sense. I think
it's been floated, but yeah, it's sort of a natural thing. But it sounds like it's not like gonna happen, but it seems like it's on the table. It's not been ruled out. Yeah.
I do think if Darnold doesn't stay in Minnesota, I think Brady would like that. I think Pete Carroll would like having somebody like that too. But they're nowhere at quarterback. So the current the next quarterback for the Raiders is definitely not currently on the roster. So
yeah, I love it, and I love that Rex Ryan didn't get a job yet. So that's fun. Okay, so this is we're gonna move on to something that this also happened in a group text with us.
oh god,
and it was you guys know where I'm going with this? This is at the Bills Baltimore game, something happened. And still dry January, wasn't drinking. I was so happy, and I like all caps texted you guys about a song that was played. Now, okay. So this podcast last year was under a different provider, right? And they never really got the joke. And sometimes you draft stupid things because drafts are stupid. Sometimes, right? Like it's like when you're not in on the joke, that's so like be better. And one of my jokes was biggest pump up song. Now, I have gone on the record many times also on this podcast that I love soccer. I do. I love it. It's great. It's so good that it's the #1 sport in the world. Now, if you go to any stadium, yeah, bro, also called football. You go to any stadium, you go to the UK, you go to any MLS game, and Oasis's Wonderwall is played. And everyone's into it. It's like, it's great. It's lovable. It's fun. Now, at the Bills game, fourth quarter, was it 2 minutes before right before the 2-minute warning? They played Oasis Wonderwall, and
everyone was singing it,
and they were so happy, and they were like, "Yeah, I can't. This is the best song ever. Let's make them our king." And I just want to say, where are those people now?
A good sing along does not necessarily mean you're pumped up, but we really made fun of her because we did a pump up song draft, and this bitch comes out with Wonderwall. Come on,
yeah, bro.
Like what? Yeah. I've never been like, yeah, I'm going to the fucking gym, dude. Today is gonna be the day. Like ever.
No, but at the bar, at a game, everyone's screaming at you get the whole thing going. It's a different kind of pump up. You're thinking the gym, you're going to pump yourself up to do something, but it's a group. See, Allie's more social is what I'm getting.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It's such a good song that you also kind of sing it like with an accent. You do a little British. It's kind of like how any Matchbox 20. It's like how any Matchbox 20 song comes on and you sing it like Rob Thomas, like it's just like if you are doing the singer's accent, it's a good song.
Yeah.
So
Creed song, same thing. Gotta learn.
Yes. Yes. So Ryan, any other ones? I like that.
No, it's really just
go
Creed.
back and forth songs with songs that are good with. I think any song is better with an accent, though. I think that's pretty much
Pearl Jam.
Any stuff that you don't know the words, but you know the accent. I mean. So anyway, I just wanted to say.
I'll give you your pump up. Yeah, you were right.
It's like how whenever I throw in my little sprinkle of I'm going to pick a draft and I'm usually right, or a like a pick, I very rarely do, but when I do, okay. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
I don't know. You're still. I mean, you got Pat on your side, but you're still you still have two people way against you.
No,
you gotta be drunk. You gotta be drunk. That's the thing.
Yeah, whatever. You had 78,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs on that game, so I got to give you it. It was, and I'll tell you who was one of them. I was one of them. I was singing it. So
did you feel?
I was singing it, but I was so while I was singing, not in my normal accent, so I wasn't as good. But I was singing it, and all the time I was just like a little bit like not like at towards the end I was like, oh fuck, Ellie's about to text any minute. Like I legit, dude. Like I was like I was jamming. I was like, "Oh fuck, this is her moment." You know? It's like, and I knew you were sober, so I knew you weren't gonna let it go. And I knew that everybody around you was getting slapped in the back, like, "Holy shit, dude! My co-host told me that this wasn't a pump-up song.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?"
I was Pete Carroll sober, and I was just I was. It was
Carroll sober.
it was so great but it was also kind of funny because what's the Mr. Brightside, that is the other one. Everyone sings it. There's like even the refs join in, but no one knows the Oasis Wonderwall song. So it was like me and 9 other people being like.
I think you're right. A lot of people. I will give you this. Don't use that as argument for yourself, because I'm giving you more. Like everybody was singing it. Everybody was singing it. I was like, damn, dude, she crushed it.
All right.
All right.
Well, on that note, everyone, this has been Analytics for the Nerds. Thank you guys so much for being on. And so we're good, right, guys?
All right. That was good. That was I like that segment. That was good.
So thank you. That was what we had to do. So Louis, we know that you're dealing
We've been
with
trying
a
to
lot
get
of
the segment in for
Dynasty.
3 weeks now.
Yes, you're dealing with a lot of rookie picks, and you want to talk about it. And I know you're very excited about this. What are you going to do with the rookies in this upcoming year?
Well, let me address. I'm going to address Pat and Ryan and ask you guys first, and then I'll kind of just bounce off it, because I've gotten legit. This is something we've tried to talk about, but it's like always been like that segment if we could get to, and it started with a commissioner in a lot of my leagues, kind of like bitching about teams that were close to making the playoffs, or like, whatever, just on the, like, wondering why they weren't trading futures to, just get in at the end. To me, especially, like, I'm in a lot of, like, I know I'm in a couple of dynasties with you, Peppa, like, and Ryan's in a couple with me that are multi-copy. So, like, there's some of these leagues that are 24, 36 teams. And if you're just on, if you're the 12th best team in that league, I'm not going to sacrifice, my rookie picks to just have a 10% chance or whatever to win in it. We could talk more traditional leagues, like regular 12 team leagues, but how do you normally deal with rookie picks? Do you think that there's an all-time high to sell them if you're interested in selling them and kind of going for this year, and I guess vice versa, the best time to buy? Pat, I'll start with you.
Best time to buy is usually like the year before or a couple years before, especially if you can get like a discount on future. Sometimes people really discount future picks quite a bit. Best time to sell. I mean, I kind of think it's like when someone who has something you want is paying attention. There's the kind of rule of thumb is like that they're kind of increasing value, like right up until the draft, but that doesn't always happen. Everyone's paying attention usually like right before the draft, and so it's easier to work trades. And so in that sense, the value's up because you have more trading partners. But yeah, I mean, I think like over the next few months, there's going to be times where people get pretty excited about, various parts of the draft. But after draft day, and this is a pretty deep running back class, my theory with this class would be that after the NFL draft, it might lose some value in people's minds because running backs, we want them to go to open depth charts. And the thing with this class is outside of Genty, there's a second tier of guys who are impressive, but like the real strength of the class is like how many guys there are that will probably, like, some will land in good spots. But I don't know if you're like thinking that your early second round pick is going to be like almost a first this year because of all the running back depth. I don't think so. I think it kind of weeded out a little bit, like some of the guys, and then we'll have guys at like 106 and 107 we start to get really excited about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, that's all really great insight. I think one of the most important things is knowing your league and knowing your league mates. Like you're saying, it's going to be different for everyone when they're either most paying attention or most likely to make a move. I do think that typically there is a spike in interest in picks and rookies right after the combine or during the combine. When the guys are running in shorts, everyone gets real excited and they're, they can do no wrong. They're just, testing and giving you numbers. So you typically, if you're wanting to sell, that might be a little bit of a spike, but I hadn't thought of what you mentioned about the value potentially going down after the draft. Because like you mentioned, who's going to get super excited about a lot of round 3 running backs, which might be the case, which might happen. I think there's probably good reason to, but the perceived value might be down. So you could potentially capitalize. And just one other note, I think when there's a year where you have running backs that are predominantly the elite asset, I think it's good to look at the rest of your roster to see if you can turn that into something that's more of a long-term solution. So if you have a surplus of running backs that are even serviceable on a championship caliber team, look to flip, those running backs for a stud wide receiver, which, might be gettable this time of year, because you're likely to have a longer term shelf life. So I did that with McCaffrey for Jefferson a couple of years ago, which turned out to be a win-win. But again, I'd much rather have Jefferson now for the next 4 or 5 years. And so that's what you're looking for, again, towards the future. So a lot of different strategies. There's no one way to do it. But you can, I think, use what the market thinks about the class to your advantage, depending on, which picks you're holding.
I have excuse me. I have a few points here. Like, one, I know a lot of people always say, don't play more than you can handle. One, not just with the work output, because you do need, the biggest part about a dynasty, you guys both mentioned, is getting to know your league mates and having to spend time. There's a reason why the best players are making moves and trading and on the waivers. Like, you got to have the time. So don't get out of your pocket as far as too much leagues for your time, but also financially, you should have your budget should be 2 years of fees, because you don't want to pull yourself from, I got a good team in mid-season and I could really go for it now, but I don't want to pay up for next year's fees, because a lot of leagues will make you pay a year in advance if you trade picks or whatever like that. So make sure you're good there first and foremost. I think normal, like Pat said, these picks are going to really gain steam as you get closer to the draft. I am so worried about this year. I just don't love this year's draft class. And to you guys' point, and I agree, the running backs are probably the big asset here. But I play in so much, super flex, tight end premium, or even two tight end leagues that my only kind of strategy here is to get one of the top 3 tight ends, because I think that I think the league right now, there's so many older tight ends right now. I think those top 3 are going to be very, very good tight ends and get good depth charts. So I think that they are. And to your guys' point about how many good running backs there are and only so many spots in an open depth chart, I don't know if I totally agree with that. I think it's going to be you look at, I've been doing so much underdog already here at the big board.
Yeah.
Is that you look at the names that done well, are you betting on Aaron Jones again? Are you betting on Jacobs again? Are you even betting on, the big names, Henry and, some of the older guys that crushed this year and kind of avoided all, those aren't guys that I want to bet on big. So when you're looking at, the depth charts, I think there is going to be a lot more turnover than what people expect, and it's trying to guess work on maybe getting those second round picks and getting a couple of those guys rather than I don't want to invest. I don't know how you guys feel. We can talk about it quickly, but I don't want to invest on any of these quarterbacks.
No,
the wide receiver McMillan, and then for me, and again, I'm gonna eventually go to what I normally do, and instead of spending hours on tape, listen to people that know a lot more than me and whatever. So I'll get to there, but sitting here right now, it's McMillan and Jainty, and that's it for me. And the tight ends have a lot of interest for me just because of the type of leagues I play. but that those three will probably even interchange based off of landing spot, I'm sure. Which I don't know should. I think that there is a clear cut Warren, Loveland, and then who's the third guy? No, whatever. But
Fannin Jr., but his draft capital is kind of up in the air. And the Senior Bowl, which he's at, there's been buzz about Mason Taylor and Elijah Aroro, and not so much buzz from Fannin Jr. So I think it's from a dynasty perspective and best ball perspective, I think it's kind of Warren and Loveland are kind of clear tier one, just from like the safety. They're going to be first round picks. They'll both be first round picks in the NFL draft. So
while we're on the tight end, just quickly, Pat, how are you handling? Louis was talking about those elite options at the top with Bowers and McBride. I mean, those seem like the two lock it in elite high volume options. I mean, Bowers with his incredible season and McBride having 200 half PPR points and only 2 touchdowns is remarkable. So, what are you doing typically in drafts? Are you trying to target one of those two guys, or because of the opportunity cost of what you're giving up on the running backs or receivers there, are you typically punting, and who are you targeting later if so?
Bowers is a big target for me right now. Doing a lot of the big board drafts and stuff. I'm taking him pretty regularly. His it's not like anyone's sleeping on Bowers, but his ADP is like 16, and I've got him 13 in my ranks. So, I'm getting them pretty consistently. And then Trey McBride, I also think is a pretty big target. Got him at like 22 in the ranks. His ADP is 28. So both those guys, like to me, in best ball, one of the big advantages of having the elite tight end is that we're pretty good at predicting which tight ends are going to have the big blow up weeks. And like a lot of the spike weeks come from the tight ends we draft the highest. And that's been, over the last couple of years, a little bit less powerful, but I think it's because we've dealt with a little bit of changeover at the position. And now I was drafting elite tight ends at the time. I thought, I still wanted Mark Andrews at a discount and all of that. I was taking Kelsey last year, but those guys are kind of aged out. And I think we all feel pretty confident about the two guys at the top are actually capable of delivering monster weeks. I mean, clearly Bowers is. He just had one of the best seasons ever for a rookie with no good quarterback play at all. Might get it. Like anyone is basically a quarterback upgrade for him. And he's going to be entering his second season. He could take an additional step forward. Like his ceiling is unreal. And then McBride, he didn't score any touchdowns last year and was still awesome. So that's ceiling right there. And I think Kittle is also in the mix.
Really?
I mean, he's shown just over and over again that he has single week upside. That is really impressive. And that's, if you get a spike week, like he was on the winning BBM team again. He keeps showing up on the winning 20 teams because he spikes. No one else spikes like this at tight end, or very few people do. And he's never that expensive. So you're able to get him right now in like the 4th round. And he was awesome last year. You look at stuff like open score, yak score, the yards per out run, like he's still really good.
And he's likely going into an improved situation with availability of targets, right? You're looking next year. Who else is Purdy going to throw to, right?
Yeah, they've got Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall to start the year. Debo might be gone. Debo is a trade candidate, and Ayuk's coming off a multi-ligament knee tear. So, to start the year, he could be seeing more targets, and at the end of the year, he's still going to be George Kittle. So I think those are kind of the clear top 3. And then like Laporta and kind of like Hawkinson and these guys who are like safe, reliable targets and good offenses, I think maybe are, especially Laporta, where he's going on underdogs, maybe a little overvalued because you're drafting less for the spike weeks and more for like, I know I have a tight end that will hit my lineup.
Yeah. I just real quick before I move on to the Super Bowl trivia is like, just because you're talking about tight ends, like I found myself wanting to double click those two because they're coming at a decent value, both of them right now, like in my mind, Bowers and McBride. And there's been opportunities where I've like had to talk myself out of doing that. But there are some decent values, as we just talked about, like the depth charts and like where money is. Like Jonu's still owed money, and they're not going to change. They're not moving from him. Theo Johnson is going like last round on the big board right now, and like he should be the starter. They got way more things to take care of there. Like Disley is not even getting drafted in big boards, and they're not spending money there. Like they have too many other things that they have to hit. So like there are some really good values that people just instantly forget about because of the age. And like you couldn't get in these start 2 tight end premium leagues that like the 1-1 in these startups this year is by far Bowers. I mean, that's how much tight end means in these things. And you couldn't get a late first for Jonnu Smith in some of these leagues in mid-season last year, and it was like, dude's tight end 4, and just everybody just thinks he's
and under contract next year. Like that's
yeah. I think he has very, especially if Tyreek's gone, like he could.
It's because everyone thinks he's related to Arthur Smith. I think still that's a negative connotation.
Hey Ryan. Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of Bowers, how delicious is he?
Oh no! Don't do it, Ryan.
Ryan, you're never living it down.
Never living it down, Ryan.
No more clips. No more clips of that.
All right, I have a few fun Super Bowl trivia questions, even though we're not talking about that game. But I got a few of those before we move on, just because I had more time today than I wanted. All right. Let's do a ding thing. If you know the answer, just like ding. You don't have to do what I just did, but just say ding. Okay. Who are the 4 teams to never play in a Super Bowl? Anybody? No dingers.
Do we have to get all 4?
You have to get all 4. You can't just be dinging in without getting all 4.
Miami Schmaltons.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody name 1 and go from there. See if you can get them as a combined group. What's that? Jaguars, Texans. You guys get 2 of them. It's 2 more teams. Never play in a Super Bowl.
Texans, Lions. They haven't played in the Super Bowl.
Lions are 1, and then 1 more.
Okay.
Very Buffalo adjacent, I'll say.
Not Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it's Cleveland Browns. Okay. The Cleveland Browns have never played. No matter how many games Vinny Testaverde or Bernie Kosar played for them, they have not played in the Super Bowl. All right. What college has produced the most quarterbacks who have played in the Super Bowl? Oh, okay.
USC.
Wrong, but you're very close.
Ding.
What's that?
Cal.
Yep. Cal. I mean, bogus bonus points if you could tell me who, but obviously Rodgers. Goff, Ferragamo, Craig Morton, and Joe Cap. Bonus points if you could tell me who Craig Morton or Joe Cap played for. Even more bonus points if you could tell me if they're real people. Because
I thought you were going if you could tell me who they are. Yeah.
Which not Super Bowl
I'm
teams
like,
they
wait,
play
what? I didn't even fact check. I was like, man, this might be just some website fucking with me.
What's the guy's name? Joe Cap?
Joe Cap. Like, come
on.
dude.
Is this a Joe character? What is that?
Just imagine how fucked we're gonna be when AI just like continues to go down a wormhole, and it just where no one is ever gonna be able to fact check anything anymore. It's just
AI just summarizing itself, its own lies.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next one. What is the average cost of a Super Bowl ring? Anybody got a guess?
I'll
like resale or to make?
To make.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay.
Let's go 17,000.
You're low.
Okay.
I'll
help you guys out.
I'll help the other guys. What's that?
50,000.
You nailed it on the spot. 50K is the average.
Allie, how much it costs for a lacrosse?
Allie, how much is your Bandits ring? You think it's 50K?
I always say this, it has not turned my finger green yet. So
okay, I'm just wondering. I don't think it's 50, but I mean, it's probably worth something now. Now you gotta monitor it. I would just put it on eBay and just check to see how much it is. Biggest one ever made, William Perry's. This is insane. The refrigerator, William Perry, had a size 25 ring.
What?
Like, Dude, he like imagine going to the
Ew.
movies with him as a
Good
teenager
lord.
with a little under the skirt action. Holy shit. He's never heard one more finger, I tell you that. That is
Ah.
insane. How what? I have fat, pudgy fingers with arthritis, and I have like a 9. Dude, that is crazy. But he was a big boy. He was a big boy. All right, next question. Who won
looking for
the
images of this
Super
thing.
Bowl the year of the infamous wardrobe malfunction?
Who won that year?
Oh,
Yeah.
The Ravens.
Wrong.
The
The Patriots.
Right.
Packers.
Patriots.
Okay. That
Allie,
was a good
right.
guess, 'cause it's just annoying.
Sorry, actually, everyone was wrong. It was actually America won, but also the Patriots won. All right, this is a fun. I think all three of you will do okay in this, but we'll see. We'll start ladies first, and this is the last one. But top 10 in Super Bowl receptions all time. Top 10. We'll start with Allie. We'll go around in the circle, see if you can name them all. Allie, I'm telling you, you're making that face, but I promise you, you're better. You would be better at this than you think.
I was trying to say Moss. Is that his name?
It not Moss, but you're gonna kick yourself when you hear some of these answers. But okay, see if you got any.
I feel like Pat would be good on this.
Any answer. We'll go Ryan.
Gronk.
Gronk is number 3 with 29. Pat.
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker is 5th with 26.
I'm just gonna throw out goofy ones. Bruce Smith.
No, I actually, that's really funny that you said that, because I looked today to see, the question was going to be if a defensive player has ever, and I do not think a defensive player has ever gotten a reception in the Super Bowl, because I couldn't find it. But go ahead, Mira.
Edelman.
Edelman is number 6 with 24.
Kelsey.
Kelsey's number 2 with 31. Ryan.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill is not in there. What? Oh, you're right.
I got a random.
Okay.
Can I take a random? Can I do Dion?
No. Deion Branch or Sanders? Sanders, he never caught a ball. He was a defensive player.
I'm just trying to think of a weird one. You're like,
weird
so
one. Okay,
weird.
no. I just gave you one because I thought you could have just said, yeah, Branch. Because Deion Branch is number 7, which is also weird, with 24.
Okay, that's kind of what I meant.
So you guys got 5 so far. You're missing number 1. You're missing number 4.
No, that's fine. Sorry.
You're welcome for number 7, guys.
Ryan.
You
got number 7, which is Deion Branch. You're missing
Amendola. No,
Amendola's number 8 with 21.
Basically just all Tom Brady's receivers.
Yeah, just
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is number 1 with 33. So you got that. Now you're missing 3, and none of them played with Tom Brady. Just to get that out of your head.
Is this the top 20 list we're doing now?
No, top 10. Just 3. You got 3 left. 3 left. I mean,
is there some Dallas Cowboys on there?
There's no Dallas Cowboys on there.
Is there Giants?
2 of them you guys will know very, very well. I'll say.
Terrell Owens.
No. Ryan, any guesses? Pat, any more guesses?
Oh yeah, they're Bills. Okay, so Andre Reed.
Andre Reed is one of them at number 4. And then you guys are missing 9 and 10, so I won't judge you too much if you can't come up with it. But one is a Buffalo Bill, and one of them, I will say, the other one is also a Niner.
One is, I know this is going to be. Wait.
No, it's not who you're thinking of, because you wouldn't.
Is it Anquan Bolden?
No. It's an actual person that caught passes as a Buffalo Bill in the Super Bowl. Sorry, not the guy that quit on us every year
in their Super Bowl runs.
All right. I'm not going to waste any more time. Thurman Thomas, number 9 with 20.
Oh, I said Bird.
And Roger Craig was 10.
Roger Craig's
a tough ball. I get it. All right. Let's blow through who's the idiot, Allie. Sorry, I took too much time with Super Bowl trivia.
No, you're good.
So that's let's do this
I
quick
was
so we can
thinking,
get into.
I was thinking Thurman Thomas, and then I just went like, yeah, because I was thinking, what's the weird?
Oh,
thing?
when you said Bruce Smith, I thought you were trying to be funny, but you were like, no, Thurman Thomas like lives around the block from me.
Oh, flex.
Not to be a.
Don't you live in a real shitty area?
I do, man.
Dude, it's you.
He's not making all this money these guys are these days. He was a real football player. The running game meant something. All right.
The school near you has numbers in it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we're gonna play Who's the Idiot, Pat. This is a game where I will read a question and you have to convince me of it, and whoever is the smartest person goes forward. Whoever is the idiot of the week. Okay, so whoever does not convince me of
you're picking
whatever.
an idiot. Yeah.
Okay. So question number 1.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay, so who is a deep sleeper out of those of the top picks? Who's your deep? Yeah, like
Dynasty.
Dynasty. Yeah. Who's your big deep sleeper? So let's do this first. So I'll have we'll have Ryan go first, so then you kind of get an idea, Louis, and then Pat. Okay.
Okay. As I told Louis, I was going to have a couple, but I will just pick one in the interest of time. All right. And this is outside of like the current top 100 picks we'll just use underdog ADP right now for big board and such for next year. So my pick is Marvin Mims, and it's because I love Bo Nix and this Sean Payton offense and the touchdown potential that it has for next year. I mean, Mims has that spike week potential for sure. He's obviously towards the end of the year, he was getting more involved on running plays. I mean, I think it's not outside of the range of possibility that he finishes as like a wide receiver, high-end wide receiver 3 this year if all things hit. So I just really like him as a long-term bet in Dynasty and even in best ball this year.
I think he's more exciting in best ball for sure. I would still think would have trouble finding spots to put him in the lineup next year in good Dynasty teams, but who knows? He could finally take that next step. I like him a lot too. So, but I love him in best ball. I'll make it quick. Ramondre Stevenson, guy's getting paid. He's under contract, and he's got Vrabel as a head coach who's literally said 3 weeks ago, Vrabel made a comment 3 weeks ago that was like he just screamed, "I don't understand game concept," and how he was saying when teams throw over 40 times, their record stinks, and blah, blah, blah. Had no idea what he was saying, was just going against game script and whatever. He's such an idiot, but he's going to run the ball a lot. And who's the idiot? It's Mike Vrabel, but Ramondre Stevenson, I think, is a really good, you could probably get him for a late 2 in Dynasty right now.
All right, Pat, you get how this works?
Yeah, no. And so can I take a rookie? Is that allowed?
Yeah,
sure.
You're trying to convince me. You're not convincing Louis or Ryan. It's me.
Okay.
Don't come to Carol.
Now here's the thing. I mentioned the depth of this class being really good. There's lots of guys people are excited about in this class, but there's a dude who's going barely inside the top 150 on underdog right now, who just weighed in at 220 pounds at the Senior Bowl. And he's coming off back-to-back 16 touchdown games. He runs a bunch of routes. He can be used on all 3 downs. Devin Neal out of Kansas. I think he ends up being a day 2 pick. Very productive, really strong breakaway numbers. And given the size, I think he's the type of guy that people are going to start to dream on as a running back 1 going forward in Dynasty. And right now, I think, if you were in a draft at the moment, or you're in a draft that drafts before the NFL draft, he's probably going to cost you about as much as Ramondre Stevenson, but I think a little bit higher ceiling in terms of what people are going to be willing to pay for, maybe even before the season starts, maybe by the end of August.
Wow.
All right.
That was great. So I think you guys know I'm going to pick this round. I like that you did a little fat shaming, Pat. So I'm going to pick you. You won that.
Wait, no, you got to pick the idiot. You got to pick the worst.
The idiot. So then I liked Ryan. You were great as and I like that you're confident. Louis, you started with guys. This is what we're gonna do, and you weren't talking to me, so you're the idiot. You have to go for the audience.
You should have let her pick me, dude.
Yeah. I was like, I know. I was like, I mean, I was like, even I was like, no, Pat was great.
I know, I was like, yeah, bro, I don't.
What's the idiot? Was me.
Pat was like, that guy's like 220.
All right, I
so
knew
like,
it. I
ew,
should
and
have just let you go because I knew it was going to be me. But okay, that's fine.
Okay,
Next
Pat,
so
Pat was just single-handedly responsible for causing that guy to go up like 20 spots on the big play.
I know.
Everyone's going to be going to draft him tonight.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, so considering all the factors such as personality, like what they dress like, how they act on the field, like any sort of drama, which player would you like to fight?
Who you starting with?
I'm.
I don't want anyone to steal mine.
Louis,
Mine's
let's go
so
Louis.
obvious. I'm actually worried you're going to steal it.
Okay,
that's
so
how I
Pat, do you want
feel.
to go? So let's get our
Let
guest
Pat go first. Let her
Pat
go first because
So I mean, this feels too easy. Like, first of all, I want to win. Okay, I don't want to get my ass kicked by an NFL player. So I'm going to go against someone like sub 200 pounds. Maybe it was 199 at the combine. Maybe too lanky. Maybe a little tall. You know, he's almost 6'4". You know, I can like get low, take his knees out. Also, again, the goal is not to get embarrassed. So I should be able to do dirty tricks. You know, who can I kick in the balls and people won't get mad at me? You know, people will be actually okay with it. Harrison Butker, the hated kicker of the Chiefs.
that is definitely not where I thought you were going. That's so good.
No one will
You're
care. I
doing
can do whatever I
DNI for
want.
me.
You got the, you know, he got the right wing politics thing going on, and he's a pretty boy kicker on the Chiefs. No one's backing this guy. Everyone's out.
That's so good. That's good. That's So, all right. Well,
There
All right,
is
Lou, it's down to me and you for the idiot.
yeah, I was gonna say it's.
You're pulling at my heartstrings.
Pat just starts chewing gum right now. He knows.
I haven't slept in days, Allie. I got a 9-month-old. I'm not kidding. I literally have not slept in days.
There is an obvious player on the court still, but that was fantastic. I really appreciate it.
Good.
And unlike Target, this podcast is for also women. So thanks for not getting rid of me, guys, for your DE&I. I feel, I think Louis really wants to go. I'm gonna give it.
I'm just trying to joke you up because where I thought Pat was gonna go. And the obvious one that I wanted, like, I think we all want to beat up Patrick Mahomes. I thought that was too easy to go with. So I definitely, I don't want to do that. I'm between two others. I thought, Allie, you know, if you would love it if I said Aaron Rodgers. I felt like that would be the easy way for me to become an idiot. But also, as weird as he is, I could see me doing some mushrooms with the dude and kind of like, I don't want to fight him. I don't know, man. I like mushrooms. I know he's dumb and out there, but like, I like a party. I think I'm going to go with DK Metcalf here. And it's only because just two physical specimens, you know, the world's going to want to see two Adonises, you know, just go. It's going to be like Jake versus fucking Logan Paul, you know, just two beautiful, popular, hilarious guys going at it. So I'm going to go DK Metcalf here.
Those mushrooms are kicking in.
Yeah, they are. He's like, I know I have the answer that you would love, but I'm gonna go with.
I know. Well, I gotta be true to. I gotta be true to myself. Ryan, quick, we gotta get a.
Louis just didn't take Aaron Rodgers because he was worried it would just turn into a tickle fight because you guys would just become best friends and just tickle each other. Okay. I am going to. Again, my first thought was also Mahomes, so can't take that. It's too obvious. Literally cursing him out in my sleep the other night after like waking up in the middle of the night, just thinking about. Anyways, my pick here is Deshaun Watson. Now they say don't kick a man when he's down, unless that man is Deshaun Watson. So I'm talking like current status, Deshaun Watson. The guy doesn't have an Achilles, so it's not a fair fight.
That's good too.
Everybody would want to be seeing, you know, I mean, he gets the shit beat out of him and he can't do anything about it. And it's a win-win. So
when are you scheduling the fight for the day after his second surgery?
Yes, yeah, preferably. Yeah, totally immobilized.
Can I for time's sake say that the two guys that went for women rights and the guy that didn't say Aaron Rodgers, I'm the asshole or I'm the idiot or whatever this
Yeah,
week,
you
and we
you
don't
were
even have to
the
go to
idiot
the
now.
third question.
No, you
Although
don't.
it's good, we'll talk about that because it's a pop culture question, and I really wanted to hear Pat's answer too. But we will bring it up next week. Maybe we'll just bring Pat on for the first 15 minutes next week. But
Maybe he'll have rough fight on
let's just
that.
call me the idiot. I know I
Yeah,
lost the
yeah,
first
you
two rounds.
it was not okay, so
And let's move our draft.
because of just things happening. Oh yeah, we didn't do oh yeah, I know what we're okay, anyway. So
Yeah,
start
yeah,
continues.
yeah, yeah.
We're going to do our heartbreak draft. So we are coming up to Valentine's Day, and also something happened on Sunday for the city of Buffalo and all the bandwagoners. And we're doing our heartbreak draft this week. All right. So you're gonna
I
draft
got
your
the order
biggest
here. Yeah,
heartbreak, and
I
we'll have
got
the
the order
order.
here. Yep, I got it. I'm pulling it up. Okay. 1 Mira, 2 Allie, 3 Pat, 4 me. So Ryan.
Okay. First pick, biggest heartbreak. Most formative years of my sports life. Went to the Sabres no-goal game when they lost in Game 6 to the Stars. And I was like 10 years old, not even. No, yeah, less than 10 years old. So yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking as a Sabres fan. So that's my first pick.
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Oh, I'm bringing it down.
It was on my list, but I didn't want to bring up bad Buffalo sports memories. So.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Wow, my
yeah.
list is going to be a lot stupider. But the death of Norm Macdonald really hit me. I love Norm Macdonald. Still
that's
one of the
a
most
good
brilliant comics. That one really hurt. So death of Norm Macdonald.
That's good. You brought us down a lot, but that's good.
You're welcome.
Have you seen the chairman of the board clip that he did on Conan?
Oh
So
yeah,
good.
it's like there's just so many. I mean,
timing. It's just
It's so good.
Yeah.
And you want to know the worst thing about Norm is like, and I think there's like a second comedy boom going on here in the last few years. So like a lot of people are like really getting back into it, and like Instagram and all the reels and stuff have helped comedy get back. But like, I don't think people really appreciated how much of a fucking genius he was. Because sometimes, if you were just like my mom, a boomer, just watching him, you'd be like, he sucks, he's bombing, and like that's what he was trying to do. Like he was trying, it was so genius. And that's
he made fun of O.J. Simpson until they kicked him off of SNL because the guy,
It's a weekend update.
Good, so good.
Pat, right?
Oh, okay. So yeah, on ship chasing, we've got a clip that we play every year. We'll have a couple guys that play clips. And there's like every guy that we play the clip for eventually busts. It's like the ship chasing curse. It's become known as we can't. If we like players, that's fine. They can hit. But the second we do a clip, that player's over. This even happened to Justin Tucker, who there's rumors, there's some personal life stuff going on in his fall off this year. But the one guy we finally broke the curse because Jalen McMillan, actually hit. So we got a player. Now we go into the FFPC playoff challenge. We have the nuts. Like we have things covered multiple ways in that contest. So long as the Bucks win. You know why the Bucks didn't win? Because Jalen McMillan had that stupid play where they're doing the snap and it hits him. So the chip chasing curse still alive, coming back. Stomping on our hearts as we thought we were going to win the FFPC playoff challenge.
So you're not. I take it you're not alive anywhere going into week 4 here. I mean, not for anything big. Or
one of my favorite things about the contest is that Leone always messages us and tells us what we're rooting for, and he kind of goes through and figures out which teams are live. And he's like, oh, we need this and this and this, and we were like, so like what's going on? And he's like, yeah, I figured you guys would get it, that the fact that you haven't heard from me in a week. We're dead. We need the defense to outscore Kelsey by some ungodly amount. We're totally dead.
Yeah, that sounds like a Leone response there. Yeah. All right, I got 2 here. Trying to think of which one I want to go. All right, I'll go a little lighthearted first. This is a true story. I had a girlfriend not too long ago, like maybe 12 years ago or something. And we had just started seeing, we were only seeing each other for like maybe a couple months or whatever. And we had plans on it was Valentine's Day, and we had plans at night, and like legit, like said, you're looking forward to seeing you later. Like, well, I'm gonna take a nap. I don't know why I was taking a nap at 11 a.m., but whatever, it might have been a rough night. And so I woke up from the nap, and like how we do, just doom scroll right away. And I went on Facebook, and I saw like that she marked us in a relationship, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I thought she was, but she actually marked herself in a relationship with somebody else. And like, I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, why is she doing? Like, I'm not like, I was mad at first. Like, oh, you didn't even ask me if you're gonna text. And she was, and that's how I found out she was also seeing somebody else. And on Valentine's Day, he must have asked her to be exclusive. I asked her to go to the Roadhouse. I guess he won. The weird thing about it is like, like how it's like, your relationship status has changed. It's like, she was like, I'm with this guy, and like my uncle like was like a smiley face emoji. It's like, wait, what? It's like, why are you liking this right now, dude? Yeah, it was weird, but it was a weird way to find out I was single. It hurt a little bit, but weird day. But
Did she get the ick from you for taking a day nap?
Probably that was probably, or it could have been the fact that we were spending Valentine's Day at Roadhouse. I don't know, maybe that was. It could have been that. It could have been that. It was all I could afford back then. I was, I was only 34. Joking. I was young. All right, this one's a little bit more sad. But you guys, I talk about my dead dad a lot. He passed long enough to be, but when he at the end. This was heartbreaking. You get in, he finds out like the doctor came in, tell him he's highly kind of hard that it's over, like the fight's done, and doctor leaves, and like that's an emotional moment for him and I. And he like was like, he asked me, he goes, I didn't go out like no bitch, did I? That was like his exact words. And I was like, well, yeah, you are crying right now. You really want the true answer? Like, come on, Dad, you taught me better than that. I will be talking about this on a podcast in 10 years, but yeah, sure. You were strong, I guess. Just tell everybody that you drink some water. Okay, let's get that cleaned up. All right, those are my two.
I love that dead dad makes it to number 2, not to number 1. So,
no, dude, did you hear what that bitch did to me? No, dude. He fucks me up for life. Fuck him, man. I knew he was dying. He had time to prepare. I woke up from my nap and that shit was done. All right.
Oh, so good.
Every time Pat comes on, we push it a little bit more. I watched the episode the other day because I was trying to get clips of when Pat came on and we had Brian Fay on. And the Brian Fay during the draft said some of the most obscene shit. And this time around watching, I wasn't looking at the podcast. I was just staring at Pat to see like you could see at times he was being like, why the fuck did I sign up?
I remember trying to lighten it up at points, right, man?
Yeah, you did good.
So good.
Right, sorry, go ahead. Back to Pat.
Well, good old football. Nothing hits as hard as a football loss. That's about as heartbreaking as it gets. I don't have a team, as I mentioned, but part of the reason for that is when I was in high school, I took a shine to Rich Gannon and the Raiders. Rich Gannon went to the University of Delaware, which is where I grew up and where I ended up going. And thought they were going to make Super Bowl. They lose in the snow to the Tuck Rule Patriots. That's the Tuck Rule game. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll have another year. Rich Gannon wins MVP. He plays the coach he had when they lost in the Tuck Rule game. He plays against John Gruden, who was traded. Think about that, by the way. Think about this stupid franchise. They had a team that was ready to go to the Super Bowl, and they traded away their coach. Then played the coach with the same offense the coach used to run. And then Rich Gannon throws 5 interceptions. The run ends in disgrace. The whole team, which included like a 41-year-old Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, they all retire. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. I did about 2 years with the Raiders, and this is the worst franchise. I'm not doing it. The only way I'll ever hire them, ever come back, is if they hire Pete Carroll. That's the only way I'll ever return. That's
I love
how
it.
I made
He
that.
loves a good
I
jaw
love
line.
I
That man can chew some gum.
You're gonna see it all season long. All season. Very sweet. I'm gonna go with another sad story. So my sister just celebrated her second wedding anniversary, and the topic, the gift you get on your second anniversary is cotton, and her husband bought her compression socks. Yeah. How long is forever? Because shit. That is so sad.
That's so great.
I'm so sad for her. So, yeah.
Oh no, I give it up to him for creativity. Maybe she really needed some compression socks.
Yeah, what if she needed those compression socks?
Yeah.
And if she did, that means she's really sick.
That is sad.
Someone must just carry water in our knees.
Honey, we're gonna fix that for you. Here's a. So that's my number 2.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, yeah, I can take DK Metcalf.
Ryan.
All right, so there's nothing quite like the loss of one of your favorite establishments where you frequent, right? We in Buffalo just recently lost a couple of these, old bars that have been there for a long time and people's favorite spots. And mine is not one of the more recent ones, and it didn't burn down or anything. It just closed, and it's still up for sale on Hurdle, just sitting there. But Gecko's, when that bar closed, it's really like, it's the definition of a dive bar. I mean, there's nothing special about this place. It's got a pool table, a dartboard, and lots of Molson on draft, and that's all. It's perfect. And in law school, I spent a lot of time there, so it was a heartbreak finding out that place closed. So that's my second pick. And then for my third pick, I'm going to go back to sports, and it's cliche, but I am going to pick the 13 seconds game, just because from the Bills' perspective, it even hurt more than this past one. I mean, I'll maintain that was the year that they would have definitely beaten the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, and I think they definitely would have beaten the Rams in that Super Bowl. I mean, just felt like the year. They still had Dayball here. And then, 3 years later, and we beat our heads against the wall against KC every year. So, it's a sad existence, but man, that felt like the year. So that was such a brutal way to watch the game end.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. No, it's good. Good pick. My third pick is the act of spilling. Whether it's spilling red wine on something, spilling something on your clothes and it just ruins it, spilling coffee, spilling something on a rug, taking a spill on the ground, spilling.
I like that spilling on the ground got there. It even made it better.
A little banana peel. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll say, so the baseball team that I've always rooted for is the Cleveland Indians / now Guardians. In 2016, they made the World Series against the Cubs.
Yeah.
The Cubs, who no one was going to root for the Indians for, because the Cubs haven't won in way longer.
Yeah.
So not only did they lose again in the World Series, which they've 3 times in my lifetime, and but the whole world is like, what a heartwarming story.
Oh.
They lost again.
Oh my god.
You're like crying. Everybody else is so excited.
It's
It's
like,
yeah.
This
I
is a
never thought
perfect
about it that
outcome.
way. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it wasn't great. They haven't won since like the 40s. It's
Yeah,
brutal.
it's been since 40. I mean, yeah, it's been
Yeah.
just as long. Well, now the Cubs beat you
now
guys.
longer.
Yeah. Remember when
Uh,
Cleveland was the Indians and then you're the only guy with the Indian shirt on still and everyone's like the Cubs. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
I don't feel any sympathy for him this week at all.
Yeah, no, I figured.
Oh, my baseball team lost 10 years ago. Fuck you. God, I hate you right now.
Soto's gonna be great.
all right.
Soto's gonna be great. He'll save the Mets. It's fine.
I don't know even about that. But anyways,
you can't have a Heartbreak draft without the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Big wrestling fan when I was a kid. Loved him. He was my favorite wrestler. I still feel like I can sing that song word for word, and sometimes I dance to it. So yeah, you can't have that without him. I needed to get him in there. And then the last one, I was trying to think of. I do a lot for the show, all this great production, and I put stuff together. So I'm busy. I gotta run my business during the day. So it was quick, but I didn't spend a lot of time. I was like, I need to think of like my saddest movie moment. And then this one hit, and I was like, oh, I don't even want to look for anything else that might be worse than this, because it hits me every time, is when in My Girl, where she like runs up to him and is like, he can't see without his glasses, and like goes to put his glasses on in the casket. Like, oh my God, cry every fucking time. Like, whoo, boy. Yeah, that's a rough scene. So I'm going My Girl. I can't see without his glasses. Also, like, that girl's got to be hot now, right? I should look her up. I'm going to look her up.
She's been in a bunch. She was in Veep. She's in a lot of stuff still.
All right, you guys keep talking. I'm going to look her up.
Definitely paying attention. Don't worry.
Veda for My Girl, right?
All right. Well, I didn't realize. I try to stick to sports here. I didn't realize it was 4 rounds. So this is actually a heartbreaking moment now. We the silver line. So the good news is we got a healthy 9-month-old long way to go. 9-month-old daughter, but we thought we were having twins when we first got. We're like, oh, so here's that. So my wife is pregnant, amazing. Then we go back in, and they're like, there's twins in here, right? And we had no idea. So we're like, oh my God, like we're actually pretty far along. But then we got the news that one of the two was like not really developing as expected. And we had to basically sweat out if we were going to lose the whole pregnancy. And we didn't. So that was nice. But there was, I did think at one point we were having twins and we didn't have twins. So that was pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's the worst. Thanks for sharing that, though.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
Sorry that we went 4 rounds. So
four rounds. I share real stuff. That's
no,
that's
yeah.
So,
but it and baby girl now all
baby girl's doing great,
happy,
healthy. She's delightful.
Yeah, that's a sleep schedule for you then, right? That's the.
She's not sleeping at all. It's ruining my health, but it's fine.
How old now?
9 months.
You got like 6 more months, and then she'll figure it out. Probably 1.5 years, I'd say, is a breakthrough point, right, Louis?
Okay.
What you say?
Dude, I hate saying this, especially to like Pat, who was just complaining about how I had my kid sleeping through the night like 6 months. I don't know. It was probably the whiskey, but like, I mean, like it's like 12 hours since like 6 months. I got lucky. I hate bragging about that because I know how good parent but that asset, what? Yep. And that aspect, I got really lucky, and I don't mean to brag, but yeah, I've heard that year and a half.
We switched up our nap schedule today. And I'm optimistic that that's going to solve all of it. That she's going to sleep through the night tonight. So
I remember those days. Yep.
you just are trying everything. You're like,
yeah.
She
She barely napped today. That'll lead to good things.
somehow they become more of like they're like like you're like, oh, you didn't nap. Wait, why are you up at 12? And why you don't even know how to play PlayStation?
Dude,
why
that's what she does. She wakes up at somewhere between 3 and 5:30 in the morning, which is basically the morning. But I refuse. This morning I refuse. I'm like, it's not the day yet. She wakes up and she goes, and I'm like, no.
Oh.
And then she's up for like an hour and a half.
That's
gurgling. Oh,
she's good. She's good though.
Sweet. Oh well, happy 9 months. I was gonna say like chip nail polish was a thing. So can I just say that?
That is pretty helpful, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so glad.
I'm gonna just
Will you figure out if that girl's hot yet or what?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, totally. By the way, totally would. I
both
know
have
that's
Pat's
not
story is my number 4.
last week, Allie brought up Dolly Parton, and I was like, I gotta look to see what she looks like because 10 years ago I definitely would have. And then I pull her up, I'm like, oh, absolutely, still would. So I don't have the best standards, but yeah, she's smoke show.
I like
Sorry,
that.
Ellie. Go
And
pick your...
also, Louis didn't know if Dolly Parton was still alive, which
I
is
did
also
not say
insane.
no. I asked you if she was still touring. I did not ask you if she was still alive. I knew she was still
Dolly
alive.
Parton, Pete Carroll sex tape.
Oh my god, we would both have something to get excited about. We just wouldn't be able to watch it together because
It's the only sex tape where you're eating Werther's originals together. You're like, oh, so good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just say chip nails and move
Yeah,
on.
Nails.
I was going to say Pat's story. Having to hear Pat's story was my biggest heartbreak.
Don't go 4 rounds. You don't want to hear shit, Allie.
All right, yeah, that's my answer.
Great. Now I have my college bar closing. Okay.
Dude, I'm showing you this. Like would. Absolutely would.
Oh, she's from Veep.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
And she's done episodes of Law and Order, and
I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Last heartbreak, 6th grade. Went to Walgreens, bought a bear with chocolates and Russell Stover's chocolates for this girl that I had a crush on, and gave it to her in the lunchroom in the middle of lunch, and like it was not received very well. It was like, I mean, it was she received
post
it.
on Facebook that she was dating another guy.
No, did not get the notification.
Fuck you too. I was like, this has been a lot of shitting on me this last hour, and I know it was supposed to be therapy for me, but you all made me feel worse. That's great.
That was great. Pat, Kerrane, thank you so much for coming. We really enjoy having you on. Everyone is on ship chasing, and just I'm so
Legendary
excited for you to get
Upside.
sleep.
You want to?
Yes,
Do you want to?
and do you want to plug
Legendary
that
Upside?
too?
Yeah, Dynasty and best ball rankings over there. LegendaryUpside.com.
When
And
do
you're gonna
your
get some-
Dynasty rankings come out? For like, are you already like updating them?
I need to get the rookies added, but I've been working on the best ball rankings to get those real dialed in with the rookies. So I'm gonna have an update in the next couple of weeks with all the rookies for
Awesome.
Dynasty.
Excellent. Well, thank you, and thank you everyone for listening or watching. This is Analytics are for the Nerds. We will see you next week.